How's everybody? Let's start in Habakkuk. Unusual class tonight, but I'm teaching. I was talking to a friend of mine about being away on vacation, and they're raising a pastor's family, and she went up to tell me how the Reverend Pleasant missed about 12 Sundays a year on the average. He had somebody preach for him. She says, "Can't you get a guest minister to come into your church?" And I said, "No." I said, "There's nobody I know that's capable of doing it." I said, "My saints are smart. And I wouldn't put any other preacher through that or them." And she said, "Well, even if they say just like, come to church and say one little thing they can take home with them." I said, "I can't stand that statement." I said, "If you really believe that the Holy Ghost is speaking live to a church, do you think he's that limited to just give you one little thing to take home with you?" He's trying to explain a whole new concept. Progressive message. There's a scripture, a song goes along with it. "And great is thy faithfulness. Thou changest not." People have thought from that statement that God can never change. Got news for you. Anything progressive changes. Somebody said the only thing constant in life is change itself. You can depend on change. I want to explain to this person on the Old Testament, God said this. "It's appointed to man once to die." So that's his word. I said the New Testament he totally contradicted. As he went progressive and changed, keyword there being all, which not all sleep. He contradicted himself. He literally changed the whole message. Back there, everybody dies. Appointment. That caused a lot of problems. Because you had a guy named Enoch who didn't die. That contradicts that scripture. Right? So when you talk about the two witnesses that come on to Revelation, they always had Enoch in there. Because Enoch must die based on that scripture. He has to come back and die to fulfill God's word. We've learned since then, as God has updated us, and I was on this kick for years. There's some things that God has taken me 20, 30 years for a single truth. This is one of them. I was with Enoch and Elijah as the two witnesses. Why those two? Only two guys in the Old Testament never died. They're caught up alive. So therefore, to keep the scripture right, has to be those two because they're to come back and fulfill appointed to man once to die. Well, it's not those two. It's Elijah and Moses, the two witnesses, as God revealed on the Mount of Transfiguration, remember? That's been a mystery for many, many years. Who those two guys come back? It makes sense now. He said that John the Baptist was Elijah. Remember that? They said that Elijah must first come. He said he did. They did to him whatsoever they would. And he said he's talking about John the Baptist, who would come in the spirit of Elijah. Okay? So when Elijah comes, Elijah's going to come blasting. The Jews aren't going to like Elijah. I mean, imagine somebody like John the Baptist coming to preach to Jews today. He's going to be tougher than John the Baptist was. He's going to lay the axe to the root of the trees. He's going to have his fan in his hand instead. He's going to clean the threshing floor. He's going to clean house. And I'll dare say that 90% of Israel will reject Elijah. Other witness comes down, Moses. We have Moses. He's going to get Moses again. All these Jews of all these years taking refuge in Moses as an escape, and we just believe in Moses. Moses is going to come back with a whole new message. He's not going to come preaching the law. He won't be preaching any law at all. No law. He won't be come preaching grace either. He's going to come with a national message to national Israel. Like he did the first time. He gave the message of an Exodus. It's time to go. He'll come back the second time and preach an Exodus message. It's time to exit Judaism and everything else and follow me. And they're going to receive Moses the same way they received him the first time. Right? His word is updated. Now I'm going to tell you, when I decided to take a vacation, I went through a lot of changes about that. Some of which God spoke to me when I was gone and put my mind to rest. I had a good time, by the way, too. I feel like going on. What page is the back on? Okay, yeah. Chapter 2. I, as your pastor, your prophet, go on more guilt trips than you can imagine. It's not a matter of am I doing the job right sometimes, it's am I doing the job? That's my biggest one. Okay. Because there's a lot of time on this job when I'm actually doing nothing. And hence, guilt. Now, something happened. I made that announcement Sunday about taking a vacation. I felt relaxed and free in a way I never have since I've been doing this job, knowing I wouldn't be here Wednesday. Okay? Talking about free, we didn't leave until Tuesday. But I was on vacation after I made the announcement Sunday. I mean, my whole mind trip just totally changed. There was no rush. They was getting kind of upset with me. But there was no rush. If we didn't go anywhere, I'd have been okay. I'm glad we did. Okay? Wednesday came around. I was wondering how it was going to be that day. I've been in church on Wednesdays consciously since I was 7. This is Wednesdays in church. Automatic. Right? Wednesday night about 8:30 or so, Shelly says, so how do you feel not having taught class tonight? I said, fine. I said, I feel good. She said, have you thought about, the class? And nope. Thought about this, singing any faces before you? Nope. So I felt fine. Then the Lord told me, He said, you're coming on Wednesdays is an option that we chose. I made a choice. I'm going to teach a class on Wednesday. Okay? It's just like the option, the Lord told me, of communion. What do you say about communion? As often as you do it in remembrance of me. And how often should we do it? as often as you do it. All right? Well, let's say that often is once a month. Okay? Gotta honor that. We choose to do it on the first quarter. Sunday's marking the first quarter. That's 4 times a year. Gotta honor that. We choose to do it on the first Sunday. I got into an argument with somebody the other day about, they told me that we're wrong not having communion on the first Sunday. I tried to explain the best I could that God didn't tell us to have it on the first Sunday. He says as often as you do it. Yeah, but it has to be on the first Sunday. It's okay. Well, we're wrong. Right? They said, well, when do you have communion? I said, as often as we do it. Sometimes you guys just say, when do we have communion? I say, Sunday. Yeah. Always. That's my answer all the time. So they say, we're going to have communion. If it's Tuesday, I say Wednesday. Get the wine and everything. No, Wednesday. I can have communion every service. It's a big deal to me, okay? So he says, since you guys chose to come on Wednesday, he said, I said where 2 or 3 come together in my name of your choosing, I'll be there. So he said, I made a commitment based on your commitment. All right? Then he told me this literally Wednesday night. He said, I quit tripping. He said, because I can never speak when you're not there. He said, I can't talk when you're not there. He said, and you can't be there all the time. Okay? So he said, well, why haven't I been there all the time then? Well, simple. If he gave me message to tell you, not forsaking ourselves together, I feel like we should be here all the time. And that includes mostly me. Because every time I miss, God loses a chance to talk. And the time is so short, I can't afford to miss. Because you can't afford it. And that's why I've been driven like I have been. Okay? Now the guilt trip about doing nothing. That came out of Habakkuk. Read this with me. I will stand upon my watch and set. Where's my glasses? That word just blurred out. And set me upon the tower. Thanks, Michael. And will watch to see what he will say unto me. And what I shall answer when I am reproved. Did you catch it? That is his job description. He said, what do you do? Stop on a watch. And what do you do on his watch? Nothing. I just stand on my watch. And wait to see what the Lord's going to say to me. And that's been my pressure, is waiting for the Lord to say something. And I realized after 13, 14 years finally, that is the job. I'm trying to fill it up with busy work. Lord told me, that's not your job. He said, that's what churches are doing now. The church in Philadelphia said, thou hast the name that thou livest. But or what? So you have a name that you live. Livingstone Apostolic Church. Our motto is, on the move for Jesus. Sounds good, doesn't it? The church in the heart of the city with the city in its heart. The church in Mansfield had it on their bulletin. In the heart of the city with the city in its heart. Sounds good, right? This one sounds good. On the move for Jesus. Going forward for Christ. Reaching out. Outreach ministry. That's outreach. We have outreach ministry. We have an outreach. You guys have an outreach ministry? I said no. I said we have a reach in ministry. They got to reach in. I said those that come who are lucky enough to get here in the first place, they got to extend their arm out and just reach in and grab it. I said no, we're not reaching out to try to snatch out the world and so on and so forth. I said, God didn't tell us to do that. Right? He said, just stand on your watch, like you've been doing all these years, and wait for a message from me. And he said, I'm not thinking so. He said, I'm not mad because you missed Wednesday. He said, I can't talk to you out there. It's not that I can't talk, he said, I just don't. But he said this. On the first day of the week. It's very obvious in the New Testament economy. Jesus, interesting, rose on a Saturday. For the law. So it's right that the one who made the Sabbath should come back to life on the Sabbath. Okay? But they visited the tomb on Sunday, first day of the week. You read in Corinthians later on, Paul says, when you come together on the first day of the week, lay aside your offerings and so on and so forth, for the saints in Jerusalem. So this became the meeting day for the New Testament church. I do believe that should be Sunday, S-O-N-D-A-Y, the day of the sun. And church and worship with Christians has always been Sunday. I mean, we go to, people see on Sunday dressed up, you go to church, right? First thing they ask you go to a restaurant. How was church today? I'm polite with them, I said, it's always good. I said, our church is always good. He said, what'd you preach about today? I said, I don't remember, but it was good. You don't remember? I said, look, if I told you, you wouldn't be interested. You wouldn't care. So they said, well, who knows? Does anybody come and can't you just get a minister, guest minister come in? I said, no. I said, they're too smart for that. I said, our church is way ahead of the churches. I said, I'm telling you. I said, we sit there and keep on talking, as we did. I said, everything I say to you is going to be something revolutionary. Something you never heard of. I said, such as. Such as the Holy Ghost speaking live every time you get together. I said, now that's really the teacher. At least, on the average, 90% of everything you're hearing is new. I made in my mind I was going to write a bulletin every Monday and just highlight the new things that God told us on Sunday. I tried it for 1 week. It took me a whole week to write the bulletin, and I never finished it. I was going to go to and listen to the tape. In that one tape, I believe there was I thought there were only 4 things that the Lord said to us before. I'm playing the tape. There were 38 items that God never mentioned. Then I realized what he said. He said, I'm going to have more to say to the church in the last days than I've said for the first 6 church ages. I couldn't believe that. That's sometimes I was kind of reticent about telling you what God said. I thought it was wrong. I didn't think about that for a while, Lord. That's not possible. You're talking about from 31 AD to 1906. So Jesus started in 1906. The 7th church age. I believe for sure that's when it started. 1906, and that's the whole church age. He really started to saying more, or started to give that message to us in 1997. My logic was, once you told us the rapture date, what more can you say? A couple of times I go back to home with 70 people asking me, has Lord said anything else about the rapture? What they're asking me was, did he tell you that it was wrong? Okay, I know what they're saying. Did the Lord probably tell you that, probably see your mistake? Okay. I said, let me tell you about that message. I said, giving the date was like the opening credits of a movie. I said, the show hadn't started yet. I said, now the church thought that was the show. And I said, they want to watch it, just an opening credits, they were not interested. They saw the whole movie. I said, God was just running the credits. Who's in it? A film by so-and-so, film by God, in association with Jesus Christ. I said, he started the movie after October 11, 1997, and told us he'll have more to say in the last days of the church than he said in all these years put together. Impossible. Play your tape sometime and pause every time he's saying something new and he hasn't stopped. Continuously. You can be lulled to sleep and thinking that we heard this before. Most of the messages that go forth these days, I never heard them before. And I've been in church, I think in church at least as long as the longest of you, or longer. No one could have told me that the Lord would speak to us in those 4 books. I kept in church in the day when a person was newly saved or wanted to get saved, they were told to read these books. It was a beginner's class. Read these books. Mom started telling, she says, people say, well, I've been reading, Galatians. She said, don't read that. She said, that's mail for saints. You don't read that mail. She said, this is your mail. You read that, okay? My question was, how long? I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Matthew 72. Read a second time, okay, now I know that. I was 8. Another gospel, man. Got them down. Now I'm ready to start digging into the deep stuff. Okay, Habakkuk, Zephaniah. See what God's saying in those books. I brought some commentaries on Leviticus. Understand the deep stuff. Nobody could have told me, as God progressed his way through this progressive message, that this would become the deep stuff. Do you know how tired I was of telling you to turn to Matthew 13? I said, you're going to think you're going to study all week. And so you know that. And so let's turn to Matthew 13. Oh, he didn't study that. Oh. But every time we went to it, got to put something new. I'm talking about in the first parable, the sower. Every time. Martha's the only one that can attest to that here, as far as beginning numbers. I was embarrassed to call this text after a while. Matthew 13. Sometimes, I come out with another message as I'm walking out. Lord drops a thought, and I just hate when he do that. He drops a thought, and he has an ear to hear. I said, no, you don't. I said, Lord, I was up late, studied it. I know you gave this message. I'm trying to preach it. So I stand up, and I turn to it. I turn to what he said. He has an ear to hear. I'm going to read this, okay? And lo and behold, that one verse I had not looked upon for some time, God filled the entire message with he that had an ear to hear. Timely. Couldn't get over that. So, well, I'll be. I'm preaching things and hearing for the first time. And said, did he really say that? Was that right? And then what God does so often, the important things in his word, he repeats. Like that verse. He doesn't hear to hear. Let him hear. 17 times. For God, that's like 17 billion times. Because God's repeat himself. I was shocked when I found the word faith occurred just 2 times in the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 32, he said, children in whom there's no faith. Talking about Israel. And this book right here, Habakkuk. The just are by faith. Just 2 times. Faith. That floored me. But 2 times the number of what? Witness. And God was witnessing to a way of faith that's going to be unfolded in the New Testament. I mean, he took the entire scenario. Turn there. Exodus 30, Deuteronomy 32. Show it to you again. Where's that verse? I got my new Bible. I have no idea where it's at. This one? Yeah. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. Now, if you come from church like I did, that was a real common cliche. I'll be going to run on and see what the end will be. That's what it says in the Bible at all. Jesus said, I'm going to hide my face from them and let them, and I'm going to see what the end will be. They didn't say that. You know, people didn't say that. God said it. I'm going to hide my face from them and see what the end will be. He said, I'm not even going to worry about their end. I'm going to be as surprised as they are. Is that something? That God can surprise himself? He said, I'm not going to run their show. Just do whatever they want to do and see what the end will be. He said, who knows? And I believe he did. For they are a very froward generation. That's an awful word. Children in whom is no faith. That's what it's spelled, epitaph? Epitaph, is that right? What's an epitaph? Final words, right? Final words. It captures the fullness of their life. Epitaph is a hard thing to write. Most of them are really sorry, says, beloved father and grandfather, and so forth. His epitaph on the whole shebang of the Old Testament was they had no faith. That was the guy's closing remarks. So, look at it. Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. When I read that, I get goosebumps. He said when he laid out the territory for all the nations, he laid out the territory in accordance with how many people he put in his own. Their boundaries will be fixed on how many of his folks will be in the land. And that's what it really again. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Got news for you. There were no children of Israel back then. When the sons of Adam when the boundaries were being set. When Cain went to Nod, so on and so forth. When Nimrod went to Shinar. There wasn't any Abraham then. God set the boundaries for his people that would be. That's something. The United States has the territory it has because of his people. He made every nation make sure his people had room. Can you believe that? Is it looking out for you or what? You're not even in existence yet? He said, okay, I'm going to make this. I'm build this. It's like building a house for somebody for a kid who's not born. It's going to be the kid's house. Whose house? The kid's house. What kid? Well, I don't know because he hasn't born yet and I don't know his mother and father. But when they're getting married and they have a kid, it's going to be his house. Who would do that? God did. For the Lord's portion is his people. He said, my people are my portion. I like that. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. That's God's inheritance, Jacob. So what does God get at the end? What does he get? We get, all kind of things. Heirs and joint heirs of Jesus Christ. God said, my inheritance is Jacob. That's what I get. Found him in the desert, land, in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. When he found him in the howling wilderness, he found him as a Hittite and an Amorite. God found one Hittite of all the people, all the Hittites, the ones that would be destroyed, he found one. And one Amorite, hybrids, this real stuff is in space, and picked them. Here's a guy who says, I can save to the uttermost. I'll pick your mess and create my people from your mess. Check it on. Your mother was a Hittite. Your father was an Amorite. They had bad blood. Interesting. He starts off with people with messed up blood. Because we're going to all eventually have bad blood. And we're going to all need a blood transfusion. So God, to make the message clear and graphic, he picked two individuals with bad blood, tainted blood. Giant offspring. So we found him. He found him in the desert land, in the waste-hauling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He taught a Hittite and an Amorite, and kept one of each of those as an apple of his eye. Kept them, knowing they're going to be my people, knowing that out of these two here, Abraham's going to come. He had plans, big plans. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, flutters over her young, spreads abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him. There's no stranger God with him. I did it. I bore him up. And he said, I took them from the time they were children. And I taught them to fly. I taught them to fly in faith. That's like he made the eagle. He made the eagle to get across his message. The only purpose of the bird, to get across this text. The eagle, what does the eagle do? They have a nest, big nest, huge nest. Those eagle birds are hungry all the time. Non-stop feeding. When mother takes off, she comes back to the nest, dad takes off. As soon as she gets back. And this goes on for weeks. After a while, those eagles get real big. And that mother eagle starts taking the nest apart. Just pull a twig out, taking it apart. Those eagles begin to realize that, home is disappearing. She's just trying to fly. After a while, there's nothing left. And they drop. They try to fly. What they don't realize, though, is that she's flying under them. And as they come down, begin to fall and falter, they land on her. She flies up again to the wind currents, gets rid of them, and they fly again. And as they go, as often as necessary, she repeats that over and over again until they fly on their own. And that's something he said, this is how I did Israel. I taught them how to fly. Personal attention. He made him ride on the high places of the earth. He picked the boundaries, remember, according to his people. And all those boundaries, there were high places. And this people occupy the high places on those boundaries when God divided the land. Is that what it says here? He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock and oil out of the flinty rock. Butter of kine, milk of sheep, with fat of lambs ate good, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. The person we read about doing that is who? He come here somewhere. Noah. After faith began to be a husbandman. He was the first that we have on record who drank the pure blood of the grape. But the blood of the grape or wine will be a heritage of Israel, still is. People don't know about that. Israel's number one product besides olives, I'll take that back, is wine. Has some of the best wine in the world. What did God say? I gave it to him. Thou didst drink of the pure blood of the grape. He said, they have the purest wine. Kosher wine. They were doing that before there was any communion. Before there was a Noah, they were doing that. The line of husbandmen passed on down from Noah to Shem right on down. Shem came and saw as Melchizedek and saw who was Abraham, and they brought him what? Bread and wine. Not just wine, the pure blood of the grape. Wine. Only ones that had that. Only God's people had that particular brand. It may have been called the blood of the grape, who knows? But Jeshurun, another name for Israel, waxed fat. Always happens, and kicked. Why do you think God told us, those whom I love, I'm going to rebuke and chasten? He's trying to guarantee you to get saved. Now the message takes a turn now. This was supposed to start. I had no idea where he's going. Right? I knew where I wanted to go. I told Rose to keep singing that song. I was thinking about a song and I was driving in, and that one hit me right there. What a fellowship. What a joy divine. Leaning on the everlasting arms. That's all we got down here. What's it come from? Not life for sure. It comes from leaning on his arms. And to lean on somebody's arms, and he calls them everlasting arms, I'll never get tired. To do that, that means you're getting, knocked out. But all you can do sometimes is, he's not catching. And he holds you. Then you get okay again, he lifts you back up again, and then he does what? He knocks you out again. That's his process. That's his salvation process. Jacob, bless me. Here's your blessing. Falls down. He got to get a stick to get it for the rest of his life. Since he walking up on his staff. Leaning on everlasting arms. God, so my job is to break us. And we hate it. We hate it. Why me? We changed it, didn't we? Why not me? Why should it be somebody else? If I'm his, why not me? Every son he receives, it says, he chastises. Proof, he says, that you're my sons and not bastards. He said, I chastise every son whom I receive. Give you whippings, correction. I mean, most of your time with your children, until they're grown up, is chastising. Constantly telling me, oh, what's wrong? When are you going to learn how to do this? I'm sick and tired. I mean, you want to praise them most of the time, just so they'll feel good. You take every opportunity you can, but there aren't very many, are there? You grab them when they come along. You did a real good job. I'm really proud of you. Because that's going to change in the next 5 minutes. You make me sick. That time Bill Cosby was in that little skit. Mother saying, I'm getting, and he said, and tired. He got slapped. He chastens us. Why? Because when Jeshurun waxed fat, when he got blessed, big, got it made now. I mean, the more we have, the less we need God. Right? You don't pray over your car and you got money in the bank to get it fixed. I've driven cars I prayed over, Well, let this car get us home. I'm serious. And it did. Against all odds. You finally got to the repair shop. Months later, the repairman says, shh. He did a little whistle on her car. And he said, you look lucky to be alive. He said, you drive this back and forth every week? He said, you guys should have been dead. Let me come and show it to you. And you got this, at one time, was a piece of metal that was, cool. And now I find out this thing's been ripped all the way down, and now just a little thread hanging on. And that's me keeping your whole front end together. You prayed. When you got money, the biggest contention was, who's going to take the car to the shop in the morning? Well, you're going to be up early tonight. Who's going to pick it up? When you had enough money, let's get rid of this piece of junk. I'm tired of this car. It's one big headache. Let's go buy a new one. We didn't pray. Prayed. I think you prayed about that, the dealer wouldn't scalp you. You prayed about that. But as far as the decision, you didn't pray about that. Did you? When we were little, I was embarrassed once in the Navy, and they said, who's your doctor? Who's your physician? I said, Dr. Nerm. At Mansfield, at the prostate station. There's one guy, the other guy there. You talking about Ben Nerm? I didn't know station said that. I said, yeah. He said, when I tell you seen him, son? I said, when I was born. He said, I thought so. You've been dead about 20 years, okay? I didn't know. Hadn't seen him since then. How's your health? I feel fine. They give you that induction physical exam. Passed everything. Shouldn't happen like that. Shouldn't be that way. Only kids in school have never seen a doctor in your life, and you're healthy. Like the 3 Hebrew boys. They said, look, we're not going to eat the king's meat. Just give us those beans. We're just going to eat those every day. Lentils every day. When it came time for the examination, it says their skin was fair, they're healthy looking, their hair was better than everybody's. All the ones that been eating that rich food from the king's table, they're going to look the best. Faith. Why? Because we couldn't afford to go to the doctor. There was no medical insurance back then. Like Kaiser.